Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Nate.
And I'm Ian.
And you are listening to the 5th episode of Nate and Ian's
Listening Hour.
Man, I'll tell you what, Ian. I will tell you.
Tell me.
Hey, last week was awesome, to get some of the nonprofit organizations and just trying to be, helpful and beneficial in any way we can be and what we can do.
Absolutely.
I really enjoyed it. Josh was fantastic.
Yeah, it was fun. I learned some things. Super fun time. We'll definitely do that again whenever we line something up. It takes a little bit of work, but we're working on it. So
yeah, we've got a few things right now. We have 2 organizations that we've contacted that have both said yes, but in the meantime, we have to continue the listening hour, right? I mean, you got to do it.
Of course.
We have so many fans that are just need. They need this.
So many. I'm looking at you.
All right, hey, so let's jump in. As we always do, let's jump into these top stories. Ian, what we got?
Top stories. Okay, so I thought this was an older one, but I picked this up today. I found it on my secret website that I'm not going to tell you about. But I found this story because I had these same creatures when the house I lived in the longest when I was growing up in Tennessee. These were in my backyard, so I thought this was fun. Residents of a Florida neighborhood are complaining about loud and messy flock of peacocks that has taken up residence in their area. It's area of Brandon, Florida, which I think I have relatives in Brandon. No, that's Braden. Whatever. Area of
Bradenton. I think that's Bradenton.
I don't know.
Area of state.
Area of Brandon say a pair of peacocks moved in several years ago, just a pair of them, and now it's over 50 birds. It's currently mating season, Nate. So, like most other animals, it's loud. Loud noises keeping the residents up all night, and a bunch of messes outside of the homes. Now, I couldn't find any more information on what the messes were outside the homes. I guess they mate and rustle the leaves around. I don't know. So that's all. It
has to be. No, they're talking about poop, Ian. It's poop.
Oh, sure. The poop will come back later in this. I have a question for Nate about it. That sounds weird, but just wanted to throw that out there. Okay. Some neighbors had to evict peacocks from their homes. I guess they're coming in their homes. Here's the kicker. This is the fun part. The officials in the area say the peacocks, they're not regulated as pets since no one has claimed ownership. But the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission say the birds also are not considered wildlife. So nobody has jurisdiction over these birds. So my question is, people are complaining, but there's nobody there that can actually do anything. Like, it's very strange.
So, that's Florida. That's pretty standard for Florida, right? I just had a bug fly into my water, Ian.
Oh, that's not good.
Look at this. Look at that bug.
It's still alive.
I just pulled that out of my water.
Oh.
All right. So here's. You said you had this in your neighborhood where you grew up in Tennessee. You had peacocks in your neighborhood in Tennessee,
dude. And my mom and dad are listeners, and they'll get a kick out of this. We had it was in Murfreesboro, the house we lived in most on Whitehall Road. You went to that house, yeah? My parents' old house.
I've been there, yeah.
They built a neighborhood behind it when I was younger, but the first couple of years we lived there, it was like literally our yard, and then it was like I don't know what an acre is, but it was a giant, there was
acre. It was a really big acre.
No. It was because now there's like an entire 2 or 3 neighborhoods there, but it was just open fields, and we would wake up. That's why I wanted it, because it said it's mating season. There's loud noises. I know exactly, because I woke up at 5 a.m. sometimes with these peacock noises. They're really loud, but they're also super pretty, which I thought was cool, because you'd never really see a peacock up close, but I have.
I was unaware that peacocks were indigenous to the state of Tennessee.
Dude, maybe not anymore. This was probably 96, 97. But They were there.
What do you mean
so.
not anymore? Right? It's not like they were indigenous at one point and now they're not.
Well, I don't. People kill a lot of animals nowadays. I don't know.
They do.
That was
I know,
dark,
it's
but they're super pretty animals, and I thought this was funny because I have a lot of family in Florida. My parents are now down there, and I thought it'd be funny if.
Hey, are they still in Cedar Key?
No, they are now in Gainesville. Go Gators! So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, so similar, not similar. It's a mammal and not a bird. But in my old house, we had fox, right? We had, is that the plural of fox? Is fox?
Feeks.
Feeks. Fox. Feexi.
Feexi.
Foxes. So, what's called the vixen's cry during mating season. It sounds like a baby that is being just. You should look it up. We need to. Maybe we can put some audio in here to Vixen's cry.
Vixen. I'll write it down. Vixen's cry.
Yes, it sounds like a baby screaming. Is what it sounds like, being tortured. And so
I don't want to hear.
I don't
that.
know what peacocks sound like when they are mating. I thought they just spread their. I just thought they spread their pretty.
They do.
Their plume of what they're called,
feathers.
Feathers, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they shook them, and I didn't know there was a sound associated with it.
I can't emulate it, but yeah, it's very loud. So,
well, I mean, again, Florida, they're a confused state sometimes.
Yeah, I love it, but some weird stuff happening in that.
It's true.
Their state.
Hey, so my top story again, dude. You come up with these great stories and about peacocks and feathers and how they leave messes in yards. All I have is, and it's not COVID related because we can't do that. However, it's enough that we need to talk about it, right? Prince Fielder, and Ian, you are a big Tigers fan, so that's kind of why I chose this.
Yeah, and him and his dad, yeah. Cecil.
Yeah, his pops, right? So he retired in 2016.
16, right? Yeah.
He was deemed medically unable, right, to play after he suffered a second herniated disc.
Yeah.
But he was in the final year of a $214 million contract.
Yeah.
Given the circumstances, so basically Major League Baseball they're saying they're going to play an 82 game schedule. The players, because it's 82, are only going to get paid half of what they would, which would make, because he still owed this money, it would make him the highest paid baseball player in Major League Baseball this season with a $24 million contract. So he's getting paid $24 million this season because he gets paid if he's injured or not. And it doesn't matter that they're only playing 82 games. So he's going to make more this season for doing nothing than Mike Trout.
Yeah. So I was keeping up, but I got a little lost. I know he retired in 2016.
Yep.
But he's still getting paid.
Correct.
From the Rangers, I believe.
The Rangers, that's correct. $24 million in his final year of the contract with the Rangers.
And you said you read something. They're trying to play just 82 games this year.
That is also correct.
And, I'm putting it together now, and he's still getting paid from that contract. Wow.
He might be the highest paid baseball player this season, and he hasn't played a game since 2017.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I know Bryce and Machado signed those last year. They were the highest ones, but that's for 10 years. $24 million for 1 year. That is ridiculous, dude. It's funny. I do know some Tigers trivia. I think it's kind of like MJ's dad. Remember Jordan's dad? Didn't he gamble some money away?
Oh, they're huge gamblers.
Yeah,
man.
I'm pretty sure. I'm a huge Cecil Fielder fan, Prince's dad, because he played for the Tigers from.
Wait, is that how you say it? Cecil? I thought it was Cecil.
His is Cecil Fielder, yeah. It's different ways, but no, I saw him a bunch growing up. He played for the Tigers from 90 to 96, and he was
his
actually
father, Prince.
Yeah, Cecil.
No,
and then
Cecil.
he actually went to the Yankees in the next season, 96, and beat your Braves. I'm sorry about that, but I saw him a lot when he was in the Tigers, and I believe he actually, when Prince was born, because it would have been around then he gambled away like his college fund or something. It was like, good job, because Cecil retired and gambled, and that could be incorrect, but I think my dad mentioned that, and I read it somewhere as well. So,
well, you know what? His son seems to be doing just fine.
yeah, and his
$200 million later. So.
Yeah, and $24 million to do nothing. I'm really sorry. That was real quick. If you hadn't seen his, it's on YouTube. His like retirement speech in a neck brace. I teared up. I was a Cecil Field or Prince Fielder fan. You know, it doesn't matter where he plays. He's a good guy, and that was rough to watch him retire because of injury in the prime of his career. So, yeah,
he probably could have lost some weight. That might have helped. Yeah. I know that's really mean. Okay.
Oh well.
Hey, moving on. Some big news this week for Ian, and we typically don't do this, but it's worth a mention, Ian. So for those of you that do not know, Ian re-recorded an album from his high school band that included a number of friends that we're still very close with. The band's name was Emerson, and Ian, this was 17 years ago?
Yeah, we recorded this album. We were all in high school. A couple of us were a year older, maybe 16 or 17. But yeah, 2003, we recorded this. It's a 5-song EP. Yeah, it was ridiculous. I started this, again, we're not mentioning this, but, I'm in this quarantine thing. And I got really bored after like 2 weeks, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to re-record this. And the band, we're still good friends, all 5 of us. And we have a text chain, and I sent them a text saying, hey, would you guys mind if I re-record this? And they thought, I think some of them thought I just meant vocals. And I was like, no, I want to re-record everything. So I played drums, guitars, bass, and sang all the parts. And buddy of mine, Charlie, mixed it. Sounds amazing. But it's on it's on Spotify, and I made a video about this, but it's on everything.
iTunes,
right. Everything. But it was fun. I did it all like right where I'm sitting right now with these headphones on. With this, I recorded vocals into this mic. It kept me sane during this whole process, so it was a lot of fun. And we released it a couple days ago, Wednesday, and I sent the songs to the dudes the day before, and they were super happy with them. And yeah, so it was a fun thing for me to get to do, kind of reminisce. So
I know you just brushed over this, but you played every instrument on the album. You sang every harmony on the album. I mean, let's be honest, Ian.
Well,
what? Go ahead. No,
it was fun. Look, this is not like I play guitar a lot in New York, but like I was playing for you before we started, like just chords. These guys, Lyle and Graham, played some. It was, even though it was high school, like they were really good guitar players, and the drummer Josh wrote most of the guitar parts as well.
Wait, Pfeifer was the drummer?
Fife was the drummer, dude, and he also wrote most of the songs, like lyrics and chords, and so he was an amazing songwriter. But
and Josh, if you're watching this, dude, Heartache at Daybreak is still one of my favorites.
I was talking to him the other day. I told him that. So
yeah, I didn't know he was a drummer. What did you play in the original band, Ian?
Dude, the 3 of us started in middle school, and I was a drummer and I sang at the same time. We were playing pop punk. Then we met Josh and the guitarist Lyle, and we kind of merged bands. And Josh, great friend of mine, I was in the drum line with him, so I knew like, yeah, this guy's a great drummer. Wait, I just get to sing and run around the stage and like jump off stuff? Yeah, I'm going to be the front man, the lead singer. So that's what I did for that time in that band, and it was phenomenal, dude. So yeah. I'll put a picture up. I have a bunch. I showed the guys, sent them a bunch of pictures, nostalgia the other day. So
I can tell you it's phenomenal. I've listened to the album a few times now. So for anyone listening, please go check it out. It really is. It's nostalgia is a good word because it takes you back to the early 2000s and that kind of like early pop punk, double bass, just. I don't know how to describe it. It's its own genre for sure.
If you were listening to, if you were alive and in like high school, middle school, or early years in college, and like between 2000 and 2005, give it a listen. I think you'll enjoy it. It's straight up old school. So
yeah, right on, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. All right, Nate. That brings us to our next little questions.
Yes.
You can explain more of this, but you are now living in let's call it an RV, a camper.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
My parents have one as well. They don't live in it, but they have one. I got some questions for you.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. Go ahead.
No, what are you gonna say?
Yeah, I live in this full time. This
Yeah.
is my house. I live in this little 19-foot camper full time.
19 foot. I'm gonna write that down just so I know. I have a couple questions, but I want to start out, dude. How many miles per gallon do you get on that bad boy?
It doesn't have a motor.
Oh, what are you talking
It's a pull trailer.
Oh,
I pull it with my truck.
Oh. Well,
Yeah.
no
Yeah,
more
there's
questions.
no motor. It's just like it's just a trailer.
No more questions. I thought it was you drove it around. That would have been much cooler.
That's like a motorhome. This is just like a pull trailer.
It's the same thing my parents have. Sorry. Okay, that makes sense now. Okay, well, next question 1.
Yep.
Because I mean, it's probably smaller than my living situation. I'm in a tiny apartment in Brooklyn, but I still have some like storage space. I was wondering how much you got storage. Where what? I think you took a video of this, but like, where do you have a full size fridge? Where do you keep your clothes? Like other storage stuff. What do you do for that?
Yes, I have a very, very small closet that, in fact, I only keep like I keep most of the recording gear that we do for Nate and Ian's listening hour in there. And then I have 3, they're not drawers, they're just consoles. The furthest to the left as you look at it is for my my boys' clothes. So that's where we keep their stuff.
Nice.
And then I like, you have to really minimize what you have if you're going to do this type of life. Underwear is paramount. You have to have some underwear. You have to have undershirts. But as far as like shirts and, maybe shorts, you rewear those a few times.
Yeah.
And then you just, have to wash, a lot.
Yeah. Where do you have? I forgot what I was gonna ask. Oh, do you have? Is there like air conditioning in there or no?
I have air conditioning. I have a heater. I've got water. So I have like a tank, right? Like it's a freshwater tank, what's called a gray water tank that it's like, shower water and like sink water.
Yeah.
And then you have the black water tank. And I think
Well, that's my next question. I
Yeah,
told you
yeah.
I told you the poop would come back
the poop
earlier.
the poop goes into the black water tank.
How do you?
And
No,
Yep.
sorry.
yeah.
Well, I was gonna say where and how do you dump your poop? And if anybody is a fan of Christmas Vacation, this is gonna be our first bleep. It's gonna be our first bleep in this episode or any of these. But if you know Christmas Vacation, cousin Eddie.
Yep.
He's
Yep.
in the full.
All right, so
I'll bleep it out, but that's one of my favorite lines. So where and how do you dump your poo poo?
yeah, I dump into a sewer line that's connected to a house in the driveway that I live in. It's what I mean. It's part of it, right? You have to dump.
Yeah. No,
You gotta dump
I mean,
it.
Poop is a funny word. I love saying it, but I mean, it's everybody does it, and I was actually wondering how you disposed of that.
Yeah.
So
I can tell you what though, man. If you can get like, I have a full refrigerator. I've got a stove. I have a 3-burner oven. I have a microwave.
oh, that's more than I thought, dude. That's great.
Yeah. I have a fish tank, and it's not mine. It's my children's fish tank. We have 4 fish and 4 snails.
I know you have a fish tank. You left it on the entire last episode.
I did. It's unfortunate.
It was on the whole time. Yeah, that was fun.
Even where I'm sitting currently, this turns into a bed, and this is where my oldest son sleeps.
Nice.
So, for those of you considering maybe, living in a camper full time because of the economic advantages that it does provide one, I would say go for it. The thing I miss the most, however, is just standing in a shower without having to turn the water on and off, because like you have to conserve a lot of water when you're living like this.
Yeah.
So
Well, I could
You
get
know?
one. It wouldn't be much different than what I'm doing right now. So,
I mean, I guess I don't know.
yeah.
All I have is 40 gallons. That's it. So,
Nice.
but no, man, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and I'm glad
Well-
we're able to talk about it because I think people are kind of wondering, like, maybe, where does he record this? You know?
Hey, as long
'Cause
as
this-
you're happy right there, saving some money,
Yep.
you can make it work. That's all
I'm
that
happy
matters.
for you. Hey,
Aw.
so Ian, we introduced a good friend of ours. I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago, Tyler Hildreth,
Yes.
who we both went to school with. When we were doing our introduction, we were, we were kind of we made it like a joking matter, and I feel bad about that. And
Yeah,
so we wanted to.
I do
give
too. Sorry,
Tyler,
you were waiting
Yeah,
for me.
yeah.
I feel bad too.
It's fine. We want to give. So Tyler made a video for us because we want to give him his due diligence to actually say hello to all of our fans. So Ian, if you don't mind, just go ahead and put that up.
Yeah.
Hey guys, my name's Tyler, and I'm one of the producers for Nate and Ian's Listening Hour. And I just want
Okay, so anyway,
Cool.
Let's move on. Hey Ian, we like to do sports segments, right? I mean, we do those from time
Yes.
to time.
Time to tell.
From time to time. Hey, so no sports news, but however, we have 7 NFL teams this year that have new uniforms.
yeah.
And Ian and I have gone through those uniforms. We've each we didn't rank that. Well, we kind of ranked them. We gave them a 1 to 10 on I guess like a rubric that we did not settle upon at all.
No.
So at this
We
point,
haven't really talked
we just
about
kind of
this,
want to go
but-
through, talk about these new uniforms, and Ian will get your score. I'll give you my score. We're going to total those up, and then we're going to rank them
Yep.
from best to worst.
Best to
NFL
worst.
new uniforms.
New uniforms. Let's do it. Let's start. Hey, let's start with these. I was almost said new, but they have a new stadium, right? The L.A.
They do.
The L.A. Rams.
Yeah.
Start with the Los Angeles Rams. Oh,
So I'm not gonna lie, man. I think it's a nice uniform. Okay. I think that the logo is whatever, right? When like the actual logo, but the ram on their helmet, I kind of like how they split it up a little bit.
I wrote down, dude. That the helmet looks awesome. I did I think the uniforms are fine. I think they're just a little. I'm looking at it right now. It looks just like more bright, the colors. But they do have their away. They have an alternate away uniform, and it's gray instead of white. This is why I didn't rank them a 10 out of 10, because it's gray instead of white, and they're calling it, instead of just calling it gray, they're trying to be cool. They're calling it bone.
That's the color.
I'm not trying to, like, it's no pun intended, no sexual thing. They're calling it bone instead of gray.
I think it's and in fact they call it bone on bone.
Yeah, because I guess gray on gray. Oh yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, gray on gray. That's great. I think that's real dumb. I think they're doing a good job. You know, their new stadium, all that stuff. I like it. I'm gonna go 8 out of 10 on these.
Ian. Okay, one more comment about it. I
Sorry,
don't like
sorry.
the gradient in the numbers,
You don't like that?
but I also gave them an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
We're in agree. Look at that. We didn't even talk about it. We're in
We
agreement.
really did. I mean, I think people are. I mean, the 2 people who watch her think we're lying, but we didn't talk about this beforehand. And I'm kidding about the 2 people. We're not making fun of you. If you watch this, thank you so freaking much. Tell your
Love
friends. So that's the Rams. 8 out of both given an 8 out of 10. I like
Yep.
them. Pretty good. Pretty good job.
I agree. Yep.
Oh God. Who's next?
Browns. It's
The
the
Browns.
Browns.
The Browns, Cleveland Browns. Yeah, you know what? Still brown, white, and orange.
Yeah.
I do the one I dig the all brown with the orange helmets. I know they did that a little bit last year. The all brown and orange helmets. I like those. I like that a lot because it looks. You'd think it'd be real weird, but it kind of they pull it off kind of. So
I will say that they got away from maybe this like new age uniform. They went more traditional, right? Yeah. And because they did that, because they don't have a logo, their mascot is a color. Yeah. And they're brown. Like, what do you do with a uniform like that? But I think they got away from like this weird like browns written down their leg, I actually think it's an improvement. I really do.
Yeah.
And Ian, I gave them a 6 out of 10 because it's still an okay uniform. It's not great. It's an improvement, but I gave them a 6 out of 10. I think it's a good uniform, but I don't think it's that great.
Nate, I'm not kidding. I also gave them a 6 out of 10. Look at us.
Dude, we have 5 more. If we get all 5 the same, oh, dude.
This next one I did something weird on, so it's fine.
Okay. Yep. Who we got next?
We're going to the Indianapolis Colts next. They made several minor changes. New number font, a new secondary logo, a new word mark, and the addition of Anvil Black as an official color. What are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, so they're so minor, right? Like it's not a huge change. I think the Colts have a very classic uniform.
Yeah.
I don't think we needed the black as an official color.
And it's not. I'll put the picture up, but it's not in there. It's an official color, but you can see.
I think it's just a swoosh. I think it's just the Nike swoosh.
So I don't get it.
So I think it is neat that inside the C is the state of Indiana, right? I think that's pretty cool. How they did that.
Yeah.
What I don't like is on their helmets that they have like this little tail now on the Colt itself. Like I'm not a big fan of that.
Yeah. They got rid of that. The new one that was the old one. The new one, they got rid of the tail, I believe.
What? Okay.
The old logo looked like it had a tail. That was the old logo.
I've never seen the tail, but if that's the case, that's an advantage that I did not take into consideration with my score. My score that I gave the Colts was a 5.5.
Dude, you did something weird too. So I didn't hate these, even though I was making fun of like you used black, but not really. I think the blue, black, and white would be sick, but they're not using the black, I think, enough. I gave it a 6.5 out of 10.
Look at you, 1 full point ahead of me.
Yeah.
We'll average those out for the full score. We'll figure out how that goes later.
But that's the Colts. So. Nate, who's up next? That's 1, 2, 3. That's 3.
So we're going to talk about the New England Patriots, right? So they kind of went away. First off, new era, right, in New England.
Yeah.
So New England's old uniforms, they had these like silver pants, obviously classic colors, silver pants, navy blue jersey. They had like the silver they brought back in on the edge of the shoulders, red pinstriping. What they've done is very similar to the Browns in my mind. They've just simplified everything. However, they got rid of the silver pants, and I actually like that. I think getting rid of it is an advantage. The only silver that remains in their uniform, I think, is on their helmets.
Yeah, it looks like that. I also wrote that down. I like the blue pants instead of silver. It makes sense. And there's the blue on blue, and then the white on blue. Those are their home and away. I love the shoulder pads now. And there's a picture up, but like the red and blue stripe or the red and white.
Correct.
I like that a lot.
I think it's very similar to what the Browns did. It's not a significant change. The logo remains, right?
Yeah.
But it's a simpler look. It's a classic look. Ultimately, I chose to give them a 7.5 out of 10.
I gave them a 7. We're
really
tight on these, dude. 7 and 7.5. Okay.
Yep. So that's where we're at for New England. Next up, we had the Chargers. The Los Angeles Chargers. Now,
they got a new stadium as well, right? Yeah, they're moving. Yeah.
Yep. What I like about what they did is they have a number of combinations, right? So they have powder blue, royal, and navy blue sets, all of them different.
Yeah.
They changed the numbers, and they've also moved from the shoulders to the helmets. So they have the numbers now on the helmets, very similar like what you'd see in Alabama.
And
Okay, so
they
their
fixed
all navy uniform is awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. Like I
agree.
think it's great.
I don't like this one. But
Oh,
they
boy.
did. The one thing I did like is I've seen this for years. They fixed the shoulder bolt. That's what you were mentioning, or I think because it used to go the wrong direction as the helmet. The one on the helmet went one direction, and then the bolt on the shoulder went a different direction, which made no sense.
Why
So
would they do that?
I'm glad. I don't know how long they've been around. I'll put it up on the screen, but hey, you fixed it. Congrats. But yeah, they do have a number of combinations. I'm sorry. I think they're all dumb. I don't.
You don't like that light blue with gold pants? That's a good looking uniform.
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
You know what's? I don't know why. Sorry to say this, but it's pissing me off. The number on the helmet is really getting to me, and I don't like the powder blue color. I like the what is it, royal and navy blue. I like those. I got to get it off. I was looking at it on my screen. I don't like those uniforms.
New stadium, you got to make a splash. You got to go big.
I get it. Good for you. I'll go first this time. I gave them a 4 out of 10.
Oh my goodness. We this is the first time that you and I are so far off. I gave them a 9. Actually, the biggest number. I gave these guys a 9 out of 10. I like it. I'm a big fan of the new uniforms.
Well, that's good. I guess.
Yeah. Well, what can you do?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm tallying some of our scores. Okay.
No, it's okay. Yeah, so Tampa Bay, right? Now Brady moving from New England. Hey, by the way, Phillip Rivers is now an Indianapolis Colts, so he gets to don a new uniform even though he's not with San Diego anymore, now L.A. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers now have unveiled their newest uniform after they switched from those weird, like the burnt orange things that they had a while ago. And then, I really liked the refresh they did to the uniforms they did have, and now they've updated them again. What are your thoughts?
Well, I agree with you. I think because they changed these the past decade, I think, or maybe a little bit longer. But I like these. But they did get rid of. It's something that's always, every time I see them on the screen or whatever or TV, I don't like it. I like their uniforms, but these what is it, the alarm clock numbers, the
old numbers are awful.
Like
right.
That's what they're called. Their alarm. They're ditching the alarm clock numbers. I also dig their away gray. Looks better. That it's great. What are they? I'll put it up. But they called it. It's like
that's an away uniform, or is that it is? All gray.
Well, it's an alternate jersey. I'm sorry. It's a pewter, and I think that looks sick. And they now have blue face masks instead of
black face masks. Ian. Don't yell at me.
It does say black. I just can't write. But I still think that's cool.
Started with
instead
a
of
B. I can see how it'd be confusing.
Yeah. No, the black face mask instead of the silver. I like that. But I honestly, I'm not. I know he's not on the team anymore. I'm pretty sure, but it doesn't matter. I can't give them a high score because of Jameis Winston. He's not on. He got canned, right?
I don't know where he is anymore.
Yeah, but I couldn't. I'm sorry, Tampa Bay fans. It's not a Florida State thing. I'm a Florida fan. It's not a rivalry thing. I think he's just a horrible human being. But yeah, I gave them a 5 out of 10. I could have gone 6. But they're just, it's not my favorite,
Ian, look, I completely agree with you. Now, I've always, since the refresh, I liked their colors. You're right. Their old numbers the alarm clock numbers are terrible. They simplified their uniform, but there was nothing fresh about it.
Exactly.
I also gave them a 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10. All right. That works. And that'll bring us to our last one. Nate's home team right here.
Yes.
The Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
Dude.
Go ahead.
Sick.
I'm going to let you do this first because I don't want to. I want to hear what you have to say.
Well, I'm looking at this picture. You got white on white.
Yep.
You got they're doing a throwback jersey, a black top and white pants. You
Silver. Yep.
Silver. So you got black on black.
Yeah.
And then for the sickest jersey, I think, in the history of football. I'm sorry. I'm a Titans fan. I like nothing wrong with the Falcons, but the sickest jersey, dude. It's a red to black gradient jersey. And I'll put a picture of it. It starts with red, and then it's kind of, Nate and I know about gradient. We were picking our logo. But red and into black, that is, dude, I'm trying to picture the other. I should have looked this up, but I don't think another team is doing that. That is really smart, and I think it looks, and the helmets are a black satin finish with a silver face mask.
Yep. All right, job. So I don't mean to interrupt you, Ian.
No, I just said
so
good job,
I don't want to.
team,
I don't want to make this like a homer pick, right?
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, the gradient uniform is my least favorite of the new Falcons uniforms.
All right.
I think the all white is
all white's dope.
It is so good looking, right?
Yeah.
And then for them to play for the first time, I think ever, probably not, but in what I remember, in all black at home is also really awesome. They changed their face masks to that silver instead of black. The gradient doesn't bother me. What I really like, and a lot of people don't like, is that across the uniform they have the ATL instead of Atlanta, right?
You don't like that?
I love it. I think it's fantastic.
No, I think it's great. I mean, yeah, it's amazing.
The all-white uniform, the Stormtrooper uniform that Atlanta is going to wear next year on the road, is my favorite new uniform of the season. As well, they have an alternate combo.
I was going to say, dude,
that they can wear on the road.
This one's
with
sick.
Red pants.
Yeah.
The red pants and the white top with the black helmet looks so good in my mind.
I love it. This was my highest score. I gave it a 9 out of 10.
I didn't want to be a homer, right? I didn't want to be the homer guy.
You can
right?
change it. You're fine. I don't care.
No, I'm not going to change it. I already have it written down. So the Chargers are the dark navy is also really nice for the LA Chargers. I gave Atlanta an 8 out of 10. I think the refresh is great. They didn't mess with the logo. The logo is fantastic. They didn't need to. Atlanta, you have a lot to be excited about, hopefully, at least with the uniforms. I'm not sure we have a lot to be excited about on the field because your schedule is incredibly difficult. But the new uniforms, Arthur Blank, you did a great job. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. Nate, keep talking for a second. I'm tallying our scores.
So Ian is going to tally the scores. We absolutely could not do this in post-editing at all because we're not as intelligent as most people would be.
Quit it. We're fine.
I will say this, man. Ian, you have to show a picture of the red bottoms when you show the Atlanta red, white, and black tops. Hey, also, if we can just say that NFL teams, whatever NFL team would have. So, NFL, they only allow you to have one color helmet, right? Like you have to pick.
Yeah.
I disagree with that. Like, why have one helmet?
I read that today as well. I'm not actually sure. I'll find it and put it up and post. I have no idea. So
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's start in last place.
Hey, can you show the graphic while we do this?
Yeah, of course. What graphic? I'll put the graphic up. So in last place, of course, with where'd it go? A 10 out of 20. Nate and I scores 10 out of 20. Tampa Bay. This has nothing to do with the team, just the new uniforms. We rated that a 10 out of 20. Last place, Tampa Bay Bucks. Tie for, we'll go with, I guess, fifth and sixth place, the Browns and the Colts with 12 out of 20. So Tampa Bay's in last, and then the Browns and Colts tied with a 12 out of 20. In fourth place, with a 1 point higher, with a 13 out of 20, we have the LA Chargers. And they would have done better because you gave them a 9, but I gave them a 4.
I did.
Because I don't know why I hate those uniforms. So the LA Chargers in fourth place, 13 out of 20. All right. Third place, where are they? We got the Patriots, 14.5 out of 20. 14.5. And third place. All right, you ready? Top 2, baby.
Yeah.
Second place. Drum roll. Second place. I think we know who won, but second place, really close. We got the LA Rams with a 16 out of 20. That's not bad. We both gave them 8s there. I think they're going to, except for the calling Gray bone, which is just dumb.
Hey, can I just say real quick, has Sean McVay ever had a bad day in his life?
Possibly.
Like, the guy's my age. He's an NFL coach.
Yeah.
He's never had a bad day in his life. Like, good for him.
Well, except when they lost to the Patriots.
Okay,
But
maybe one day.
One day.
One day he's had a bad day. All right.
One day.
First place, go ahead.
And, of course, first place, I think it had nothing to do with Nate's hometown heroes, boys. I just think that they're really dope. The Atlanta Falcons with a 17 out of 20. If I did that math, 9 plus 8?
I don't know.
17?
Yeah.
17 out of 20.
Calculator.
No. 17 out of 20 Falcons. So, best to worst, Atlanta, LA Rams, Patriots, LA Chargers, Browns and Colts, and then Tampa Bay. The best to worst new uniforms for the NFL in the 2020 upcoming season. There
of course, according to NAILH.
Well,
Nadine's listening hour. Hashtag it. Comment below. Ian, next week, man, we have some great things. Again, we're going to bring a nonprofit back that we're going to be interviewing someone, getting their good word out as well. We are looking at doing a segment called "Who Done It," talking about sports criminals and some more trivia. Potentially, hopefully, we'll have a Jeopardy contestant on, and we're going to try and stump the Jeopardy contestant. So we'll see how that goes. We've reached out. We're just waiting on confirmation. So
yeah, but if you have any, sports criminals, if you want us to talk about or include in the questions, don't forget, email us, listeninghour2020@gmail.com, and my phone number is on our Facebook page. So text me.
Right.
I haven't gotten a single text yet, and I'm super bummed about that for some weird reason.
Hey, and as always, subscribe, comment, like the video, share us wherever you see. Hey, thank you guys so much for yet another week. We appreciate it.
Deuces.